filled out, go ahead and turn your page over to page 9. We're going to talk about some spontaneous activity. You have a little chart in the middle of your page, and it says inactive choice and active choice. So we're going to think of some other examples. The one that they have is when you shop, park your car as close as you can to the entrance of the store. And this is an inactive choice. So the active choice would be to park your car further away and walk. So what other examples can you think of? Go ahead and write them down in their box and then we'll share. Are we ready to share, or you need a couple more minutes? Anybody? All right, so what is an inactive choice, other than the example?
Taking the elevator.
Taking the elevator, great example. So what is your active choice?
Take the steps.
Good. So what happens if, say, I have a knee injury and I can't walk up 7 flights of stairs? What could I do?
Walk up 2 floors.
Good. So I would take the elevator up to the 6th floor and then walk up to the 7th. That's a good idea. And then maybe if you have problems coming down, or if you have problems going up the stairs but down is fine, go to the 6th floor, walk up to the 7th, and then on your way out or to lunch or something, then you take the stairs down. Yeah? Good. Very good. Someone else. Go ahead.
Inactive would be using a blower to get your leaves off the
Great.
yard, and active would be breaking them.
That's perfect for this time of the year. Actually, in the car on the way down, we were admiring all the gorgeous leaves. Yeah. Did you have something, Ann?
Yeah, sometimes when I go to the grocery store, I know exactly what I want, and have a pretty good idea where it is. So instead of just getting that, just walk up and down the aisle.
Mm-hmm. Picking up healthy choices, though, right?
Hmm?
Picking up healthy choices, though, right?
Not buying other things that I don't need.
Good example. Anybody else? All right, so decrease inactivity and your time spent sitting down. It's important to know how much activity you participate in each day, and it's important to pay attention how much inactivity is in your daily routine. So, ways to decrease your sitting time. Try cutting down the time you spend in front of the TV. Try walking instead. Be active while you watch TV. Ride an exercise bike, lift weights if you have them. During commercials, go for a walk around the kitchen or in your living room or something. Then you're also not watching those food commercial TVs that make you hungry. Move during the commercial breaks. So this is interesting. On average, there are 17 minutes of advertising for each 1 hour program. That's 1/4 of the time. So that's a good if your goal is 30 minutes a day, you're over halfway there. So there you go. That's a good way. Does anyone have any questions so far? All right. Keeping it safe, being active. So being active is usually quite safe. but in rare cases, problems can arise. I'm on page 10. Prevent sore muscles or cramps. Only increase a little bit at a time. Make small gradual increases in how often, how hard, and how long you're active. Drink plenty of water before, during, and after you exercise. Wear socks that fit well, are comfortable, and keep your feet dry. Warm up before and cool down after every activity. Here's some tips in here about warming up and cooling down. You can read those on your own. I'm running out of time. If you do happen to get a muscle cramp, we've all had a Charlie horse, right? Not fun. Stretch the muscle and then massage it, and then repeat. If there's still pain, put ice on the cramp, and then again massage it and stretch it out. And then keep repeating until it kind of goes away. Okay, so why is stretching important?
Warming up, loosening up.
It warms you up for your physical activity. Good.
All of a sudden.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Well, it decreases injuries.
It decreases injuries. Very good. How about it increases the movement around your joints, which we call range of motion. So if my shoulders were really stiff, and some of you might have this problem if you have rotator cuffs, I might only be able to lift my arm up to here. So if you just work on that a little bit of every day, then your range of motion is going to increase, and then you can, move your arm around all the motion of the joint. Does that make sense?
Full range of motion.
Full range of motion. There we go. Good. All right. So on page 11, it tells us how to stretch. You're going to hold it for 15 to 30 seconds. Do not bounce. You just want to hold your stretch. Relax, and then repeat 3 to 5 times. Make sure that you stretch both sides. We don't want to be lopsided. We want to even out both sides. Stretch within your own limits, so don't go further than you can. If you can't touch your toes, don't try and do it. Then we'll get some muscle tears and stuff, and that's not good. Remember that we want to breathe while we're stretching. We don't want to hold our breath. Passing out, not a good time. And always stay in control. Important message. No pain is gain. You do not have to feel sore or anything the next day. If you're not, that's perfectly fine. You're still doing something, and that's important. All right, so now is the portion of the class. We're all going to stand up and stretch. Woo! Don't sound so excited. All right, get your room so that you're looking at your neighbor. All right, our first one is our arm reaches. So your feet are going to be shoulder width apart, and you're just going to reach up towards the ceiling. Hold for 15 seconds. And then relax. And then we're going to do the other side. Reach up, stretch. And then back down. Good. Remember, we want to do this 3 to 5 times. Well, we don't have enough time to do that, so we're just going to do once on each side. Next, we have arm circles. So our feet are still going to be shoulder width apart. Arms out to the side. Small circles, 10 each way. Sorry. And then switch directions once you have 10. Good. All right, next we have waist bends. So feet shoulder width apart. You're going to stand up nice and tall. One hand on your hip, the other one you're going to reach up and over, and you should feel a stretch in the side of your arm that's up. Make sure you're breathing. I know, it sounds silly, but how many of you were like, oh my gosh, I was holding my breath? Yeah. Good, and then back to center, and then to the other side. Good, relax. Next, we're going to do a chest stretch. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, shoulders over top of your hips. And you're just gonna grab your hands behind, pinch those shoulder blades together. Good. And I teach senior fitness, so sometimes, if you have a shoulder injury or something, you don't want to do it, but a good modification is to sit on a chair, and you can grab the sides of the chair and kind of pinch your shoulder blades back that way. Good, relax. Next, we're going to do tricep stretch. Who knows where your triceps are? Right here. Triceps are in the back, these are biceps. So, next, you're going to put your arm behind. Okay, if you can't pull it from behind, you can always give it a push from the front. Good. And then switch. That's okay. And relax. Next, we're going to do a shoulder stretch. So you're going to take one arm, hold it out to the side, cross it over your body, and give it a pull with your other hand. There you go. Good. And relax. You all are so quiet. Go ahead and take your other one, cross it over, give it a pull. Relax. All right, next we're going to do a sitting toe touch. Can you do this one on the floor? Okay, it's just hamstring. So what you don't have to sit on the floor if you don't want to. You can, but you're going to sit on the floor, legs extended out straight, and then you're going to reach over and try and touch your toes. Yep. And then a modification, if you can't get on the floor, perfectly fine. You're going to take your chair.
We can sit in the chair.
You can sit in your chair, yeah. You're going to extend one leg out to the front. This other one is bent. You're going to flex your toe back towards you and lean forward. You should feel a stretch that way. Just make sure that we're not rolling our shoulders forward. We want to keep our back nice and straight. You should feel a stretch behind your thigh and your hamstrings. Yeah, good. And then switch sides. Or relax and continue. Can bend over. Good, relax. Next we're going to do a quadriceps stretch, or your quads. Who knows where your quads are? In the front, very good. All right, you can do this lying on your side and then grabbing your foot behind. Thank you, wonderful assistant, Stephen. You can do it standing if you can hold on to something to balance. And if you can't do it, you can take a towel and kind of loop it around your foot, and then you can pull it up that way. Yeah.
I've had knee surgery and I'm not sure.
That's okay. And then switch to the other side. You okay? Okay.
At least.
Okay. All right, relax. Couple more. We're going to do a calf stretch. So standing up, one foot in the front, one foot in the back. Press that back heel down into the floor. You feel a stretch in your calf? Yeah, good. And then switch sides. Good job. Have a seat. I'm going to ask you to pass out a packet, and it's full of stretching exercises.
There's a great yoga class on Wednesday night at the Courthouse Cardio in South Charleston.
Yeah.
It's only $5. Yeah, and the girl that teaches it is a bigger girl. So she takes into consideration everything. She's fabulous. It's at 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening.
So 7 o'clock Wednesdays, where's that
It's
again?
at Brick House Cardio, which is directly across from the Rite Aid. It's, you know where the mound is, there's the, it's like if you were coming out, you're right across from the Rite Aid, it's actually on the Corporal.
Oh,
It's on the Corporal, but it's right at that intersection where that little side road, you know, with water tower and stuff. And it's about this big, so you really don't notice there's something for it.
cross the portal from the right.
Across the Corporal from the Rite Aid. And Gabby is a great teacher.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. One lady that's not here today said that they have great water aerobics somewhere around here.
South Charleston.
South Charleston, yeah. So that's, water aerobics is great because there's zero impact. So if you can't, run or something, I know you put on buoyancy belts and you can jog and do stuff in the water. So that's a great alternative if you do have joint issues. So, cool. All right, so next we're going to talk about wearing good pairs of shoes. You do not need to buy new or special shoes if the shoes that you have on now are fitting well and they're supporting your feet. So when you go to a shoe store, they offer ridiculous amounts of different kinds of shoes. I mean, I work into a shoe store and I'm like, look at all the pretty colors. Like, they have so many different types of shoes for different things. And if you really just ask, this is what I do. I went into a store in Morgantown and I said, I'm on my feet all the time. I work with a marching band. I work at a gym. I need good supporting shoes. So he recommended a pair for me, and I love them. Visit more than one shoe store. Just don't go to one and be like, oh, he said these are really great. Like, shop around. It's okay. The salespeople can help you find a good fit, like I said. So when you do go to get a pair of shoes, wear the kind of socks that you're going to wear with them. So if you're wearing, maybe you're coming from church or a formal event and you're wearing pantyhose if you're a woman. You're not going to wear those with your tennis shoes, so just make sure that you take a nice pair of socks that you would normally wear. And sometimes they might have them there for you too, to try on. So go to the store right after you've been active. So if you've been walking around for a little while, then go back to the store and try on your shoes. Because your feet might get a little bit more bigger, swollen a little bit, but then they go back down. But it's just a good fit for when you're getting active shoes, for active exercise. Your shoes should fit comfortably right away. Everyone's always like, oh, I just need to break my shoes in. You shouldn't have to do that. They need to fit right away out of the store. You should be able to put them on right after you buy them and walk around, and they should still feel comfortable. There should be a thumb's width space between your longest toe and the end of your shoe. I remember when I was little, they would always press down, and I was like, what the heck is that? So that's why. Your heels should not pinch or slip out when you walk, and your shoes should bend easily at the ball of your feet, just behind your toes. Take your old shoes with you to the store. If you have, if you tend to pronate or supinate, if you walk more on your heels or on your toes or on the outside of your foot, they can kind of see how the wear is on your shoes and recommend a good pair to correct that. And tell the salesperson the kind of activity that you're planning to do. So that can help you find a good pair. All right, so now we're on page 17. Does anyone have any questions? No? Call your doctor. This is in case of an injury. Call your doctor if you suspect, something's just not right. You can't move an injured area, or if there's immediate severe swelling, these may be signs of broken bone. When in doubt, call your doctor. So if you get a sprain or strain, or pull or bruise, what do we remember? Rice. Rest. Make sure you rest, stop doing the activity, take a few days off. You might need a splint or a brace or something. Make sure that you ice it. 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And make sure that If you have, like, I like to use frozen peas, make sure you put like a dish towel in between the peas and your skin, or make sure that there's something there so you don't get burnt. Compression, so again with your wrap, apply pressure and with an elastic bandage, and this will help reduce swelling, but make sure that you don't wrap it so tight that it cuts off your circulation, so no blue toes or fingers. And then elevation, make sure you put that joint up. So lift the injured area above the heart, keep it elevated whenever possible, not just during icing. Any questions? Okay. Next, we are on page 18, we have heat. So we're kind of getting out of the season where it's really hot, and we're starting to get into some cooler temperatures. So outside right now looks like a perfect day to go for a walk. But when we're exercising in the heat, what should we do? Drink water. Good. Stay hydrated. When? Before, during, and after. This is bullet point number 2. Okay, good. Sports drinks are good if you sweat a lot, you kind of lose minerals, but just remember that they do have a lot of extra salt and calories and stuff, so water's number 1. If it's hot or humid, make sure that you're active early in the day or late at night. So like at band camp, we're always marching at like 7 o'clock in the morning and at 10 o'clock at night, because those are the coolest times. Don't overdo it. Wear light, loose-fitting clothing. And what are some of the signs of heat illness? Paleness. Yeah, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, fainting. If you're feeling flushed, I'm a redhead, I'm flushed all the time. So, that may not be something for some people, but when you're not just feeling good. So, sweating, not sweating. Some people sweat more than others. So if I'm a sweater, I'm gonna, if I stop sweating, then I should be worried. And tell someone your route whenever you're walking. So just if James goes out and just tell Jenna, hey, I'm going for a walk. If I'm not back in X amount of time, like, come looking for me, okay?
I don't have to worry about that.
No. But just in case, you never know what's going to happen. Actually, one of my clients at the gym back at home, she went to California to visit her son. She went out for a walk. She's a very active 75-year-old lady, and she fell. I said, what did you do? She's like, I have no idea. I just went down. So luckily she had her cell phone on her, and she could call her son to come get her. But again, you just never know what's going to happen. So if you do have a cell phone, keep that with you, or kind of let someone know you're going for a walk. All right, keeping warm in the cold. We're on page 19. Check the weather. If it's too cold or icy, if you're hesitant about it, don't do it. Exercise at home. Be active in the middle of the day. So this is kind of opposite of what we were talking about with the heat. The warmest part of the day rather than early and late. Drink plenty of water, even though you may not be sweating. Dress warmly from head to toe. So even though it's cool outside and I'm going to get hot, you still need to cover up because you can get frostbite, or you still want to keep that heat in. Go out against the wind and come home with the wind. So we've all experienced that when we're walking towards the wind, and it's just like, it's so painful. Don't do that. Avoid patches of ice. Know the signs of frostbite. So we have numbness, tingling, burning feeling, and then changes of color in your skin. And then tell someone your route where you're walking. Does anyone have any questions? No? All right. So we're to page number 20, and this is your to-do list for the week. You're just going to put how many minutes you're going to be active, and then kind of plan your week. What you're going to do physical activity-wise, when, and how many minutes. And then make sure that you keep track of that in your fitness or in your activity book or your food log book. And again, keep track of your calories and your fat grams. And then increase your spontaneous, unstructured activities, so like taking the stairs, and then write down what you'll do. So just make sure that you fill this out. Does anyone have any questions or anything? you're all done.